let's talk about Week 12. Week 12 not only brings us the stretch run of the NFL season. I mean, can you really call it a stretch run when, can you really, think of any team that wants to make the postseason right now? Does any team really want to make the playoffs right now, considering, that the Buffalo Bills, the Indianapolis Colts, the Tennessee Titans, the Patriots, the Vikings, the 49ers, pretty much the whole playoff picture is in a state of funk. It's pretty much a whole clusterfuck. It's who really is deserving to go to the playoffs at this point? Because it's 1 week a team is good, and then the next week they're just so bad. It's which one do you want to be? Where's the consistency here? I mean, there's only a very few select here. There's only a very few select in this group. I mean, the Cardinals, they've been wheeling and dealing without Kyler Murray, and then the Packers have been, they've been on and off. And then the Bucks, I mean, they got back on track, but then look at their last couple of games. So either way, this week, it's just like the last couple of weeks, to be honest with you. It's probably going to be another chaotic week where we truly don't know. We still truly won't know who really wants to go to the playoffs. So it's going to be a wild one. And this week will bring us not just the week where we probably won't know who really wants to make the playoffs, and that's if anyone wants to go to the playoffs at this point. But it's the week that brings us not just some Thanksgiving football, but it also begins the start of holiday football. Thanksgiving and Christmas football. So it's Thanksgiving and Christmas football season. And at least for the Arizona Cardinals and the Kansas City Chiefs, they get to spend their Thanksgiving with these on their bye week. So they're lucky bastards, man. They get to eat all they want, including some good old-fashioned turkey. They don't need to eat the ones that they give on the Sunday night football broadcast that they do on Thanksgiving. The winner gets a fat-ass turkey. If they don't need that one, they can make their own. They can make it like a deep-fried turkey or some shit. So either way, we'll begin to know, or maybe we won't know, who's going to be the people, the teams that'll probably be or not be in a playoff race on Turkey weekend. So, starting off with the Thanksgiving slate, the Chicago Bears will go to Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions. For how many years have they done this? Like 3 straight years? 3 straight seasons? They've done this matchup on CBS and Fox alternating? Why? Why do you continue to do this, NFL? Why do you continue to do this? Is it because like tradition? Because the Lions have always always be on Thanksgiving? It's can we please end this tradition of the Lions always being on Thanksgiving? Because they are pretty much the poverty, they're pretty much the poverty, the little baby cubs. And they suck. They absolutely suck. They always almost lose on Thanksgiving anyway. They are garbage. They are ass cheeks. They're so bad. And on top of that, we have to see Turkey Day Bears football, Maggle. We have to see that too. Oh man, this is a recipe for disaster. And add to the fact that we could either see Jared Goff or Tim Boyle go up against Andy Dalton. Oh man, I'm so sorry. It's do I have to watch this game? Do I have to watch it in full on Thanksgiving? I'm probably not going to, because this is just this is so bad. So this is such a good way to start off your Thanksgiving with the mediocrity of the Lionsy Bears way, with some Bears football, John, and the poverty baby Cubs. So I'm going to roll with the Chicago Bears and move on with my life. So in the afternoon game, the Las Vegas Raiders take on the Dallas Cowboys in another game that I still don't understand the tradition for. So the Cowboys probably won't have Amari Cooper again due to COVID, and CeeDee Lamb is still a question mark because of the concussion protocol. But, for the Cowboys, at least their offense is not like the Raiders, where they are absolute shit offense, and Derek Carr has completely broken down. So I'm going to roll with the Cowboys in this game. Then in the nightcap, the Buffalo Bills take on the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. I expect a big bounce back from Bills defense that should be performing much better than they did on Sunday against the Colts, and for Josh Allen to bounce back even harder. They should pounce on Trevor Simeon's candy ass in the Silverdome. Oh, sorry, the Superdome. Oh, I'm pulling a Hulk Hogan here. And yeah, there's just too many injuries, too many underperforming by the Saints to keep up with a Bills team that is primed for a bounce back. Or who knows, maybe they'll just give this one away too on Turkey Day. So I'm going to roll with the Bills. Then in the Sunday slate of action, you got a couple of important games here. The Atlanta Falcons, this is not an important one, but we get to the early morning slate of games. The Atlanta Falcons travel to the land of All Elite Wrestling to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars in some pointless filler. If Matt Ryan gets Cordell Patterson back this week, then the Falcons will likely win this one. But if he doesn't, then they'll probably still win by a very slim margin. So I'm going to roll with the Falcons. The Carolina Panthers travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. This is an important game for both teams because neither one can afford any more dings to their playoff hopes, even though Miami didn't really have much to begin with. It's going to be a tough out for Tua Tagovailoa, especially with a tough Panthers defense, even though they got burned by Taylor Heineke last week. And Cam did all right in his first start. And he could probably translate that success to the Dolphins, a much more inferior team. So I'm gonna roll with the Panthers to beat the Miami Dolphins in South Beach. Then the New York Jets will take on the Houston Texans in a game where someone by the end of it will have 3 wins. And who will it be? Who cares? Give me the Texans, I guess. The Philadelphia Eagles take on the New York Giants in the Meadowlands. The Eagles have been playing good football on the backs of Jalen Hurts and the running game. And Danny Pennies and the G-Men have sucked so bad that they've fired Jason Garrett, their offensive coordinator and former head coach of the Cowboys. So expect more of the same for Jalen Hurts. And they'll probably run away with this one. So I'm going to go with the Eagles. The Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bungles. The Steelers actually managed to do well against a good Chargers defense. And, for as immobile and old as hell as Big Ben is, and, I wasn't convinced with Cincinnati's blowout win over the Raiders last week. I'm going to go a little crazy here. And for as much as I'm not convinced about the Steelers either, I'm going to go with the Steelers to beat Cincinnati in a probable and very crazy upset. Then in one of the big 3 important matches of the week, the Tampa Bay Bucks travel to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. This is going to be a big prove-it game for both teams. Tampa Bay wants to prove that they're truly ready to embark on their quest for a repeat. And, Tom Brady and the offense want to, they want to make sure that they're ready for that stretch run as well as their defense. And the Colts want to prove that their 3-game winning streak is no joke. And getting a win here and will be assured of that. But I think that experience and talent will play beneficiary for Tom Brady and company. But, don't expect Jonathan Taylor and Carson Wentz and the Colts to simply lay down for the defending champs in their home stadium. So even though I'm picking Tampa Bay, it's probably going to be a close one between these two teams. Then in Gillette Stadium, the Tennessee Titans take on the New England Patriots. The Titans are pretty much free-falling while the Patriots are firing on all cylinders. So I expect Bill Belichick and Mac Jones to pretty much bully Ryan Tannehill all day long. So I'm going to roll with the Patriots. So in the afternoon slate of games, the LA Chargers take on the Denver Broncos in the Mile High. Denver is coming off their bye, but does that mean Teddy Bridgewater will finally be more aggressive under center? Will he make more high-risk throws? Probably not. So that probably means more craziness from Justin Herbert on paper to pretty much torch a tough Denver defense. So Teddy Bridgewater will have to go lights out. So I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one. So the LA Rams take on the Green Bay Packers in another important matchup. And Aaron Rodgers and the offense, they've been doing good for themselves in spite of the loss last week. But we don't know how the Rams are going to be after coming off a blowout loss before their bye week to the 49ers. So, they were still trying to integrate Odell Beckham into the offense, but Matthew Stafford probably had an even worse game than the one the previous week against the Tennessee Titans before the Rams bye week. So, are they going to right the ship offensively as well as defensively? That remains to be seen. But I'm going to roll with the Packers because, they have a better quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. And their defense, aside from last week's game, has been playing much better. So I'm going to roll with the Packers. And then in another big game that'll have major wildcard implications for both teams, the Minnesota Vikings travel to Levi's Stadium to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Surprisingly, both Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo have been playing good football lately. Yes, I can't believe I'm saying that. And each team has found their own formula of success to win games. Yes, call me crazy. All that comes to a head in this one, but got to roll with my 49ers, obviously. They got more talent, a better defense, at least in the front seven, at least. The secondary is still a question mark. And, they got better weapons on offense that just outweighs Minnesota's. So I'm going to roll with the 49ers in what should be a heavyweight fight. Then the Sunday Night Football game, the Cleveland Browns take on the Baltimore Ravens. And this is a very competitive AFC North. And it's going to feature the first and last place teams of the division. And Lamar Jackson, it remains to be seen if he's going to play in this game. Was he able to, fully heal from that illness? I don't know what it is, how he got sick from it, but that remains to be seen. Is he going to be healthy enough to play against a banged up Cleveland offense? And that includes Baker Mayfield. That remains to be seen. But he's going to be going up also against a pretty intense Browns front four. So if Lamar Jackson plays, they're going to put up some fireworks on a Browns team that doesn't put up any fireworks. But if Lamar Jackson doesn't play, that could be cause for concern for the Ravens. But either way, I'm going to roll with the Ravens, and I do think it's possible that Lamar Jackson comes back this week. So I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one. Then the Monday night game, oh boy. The Seattle Seahawks take on the Washington football team in the nation's capital. So this will either be Russell Wilson's get-right game that will hopefully propel them, at least to the Seahawks, to make some improbable and impossible comeback playoff run. Or this will be another shellacking for him and the Seahawks. Washington has been playing surprisingly decent football and getting good results from Taylor Heinicke. So, in my opinion, I think they should be able to pick apart a Hawks team that's just been very bad on offense, and their secondary still sucks ass. So, I'm going to go with the football team to close out Week 12. So, those are my picks for Week 12. Let me know what you're going with for this full slate of games. Some important ones this week. We got 4 of them. I know I said 3, but We actually have 4. But, let me know what your picks are. However you can, whether it's on YouTube or social media. But let me know how you feel about these picks. It's going to be one interesting one, but obviously we're getting closer and closer to that home stretch of the playoffs in a couple of matter of weeks. When we reach to week 14 and then so on and so forth with 15, 16, 17, it's going to get really, really tight when everyone is pretty much playing at that point. No more buys. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.